Morning America, good afternoon from Germany, and welcome on this Thursday. No major news, but some major movement, and we will have a look at these. Sorry for being a little bit late today. I was at a Greek restaurant with my family and was a little bit late at home. That's why the market is already open today, but because there are no major news, it's not really important to be here for the opening. So let's go directly to the charts here and let's see where we are. This is the day chart of Nasdaq future, and you see we are at the important lows. So we tested these lows several times on November 17th, 21st, 22nd, 29th, 30th, and the last time, the last 2 days on December 6th and 7th, and today again. We haven't reached the lows of yesterday, but we are trying to form a bottom here, so it looks like. We were trading sideways almost the whole day yesterday. This is a 15-minute chart. You see during the market open, this was market open. So we were trading a lot sideways with huge movements, but yeah, at the end of the day we closed where we opened, so nothing happened. And today we were trading to the upside, making higher highs and higher lows, but right at the open we had a huge sell-off, and now we are trying to push back. We are at the important 11,500 level, so I've shown you on a day chart this is an important level, 11,500. As you can see, we pushed below several times, but we managed to close above, so it is an important level and we have to close above again to keep this bullish sentiment because we already went to a bearish one. You can see here on a day chart that parabolic SAR is now on the upside, because here the day before yesterday we closed below this red dot, and therefore it went to the upside and indicates a downtrend, or maybe it tries to establish a downtrend, because here we can see there was a crossing of ADX. It's still not a strong trend because only trading sideways for several weeks now. But yeah, it can turn to a downtrend as soon as we close the day below 11,500. Therefore, we have to have stronger bulls pushing the prices higher again, because we are below the moving averages and we are at the 100% level. So we made a 100% reversal. Here was the speech of Jerome Powell last week Wednesday, and we pushed up to highs of 12,144, and now we went down these 600 points. So this is a huge movement in one trading week. This was down 5%, and now we try to manage to go higher again. Next resistance levels will be probably here. You can still see the Fibonacci levels. I would draw it new because we had the lower lows here, so I would use these lows. It wouldn't be a big difference, but let's see when we redraw it here from the lows of yesterday to the highs right after the speech of Jerome Powell. The day after, it was December 1st, and here you can see the important level is 11,690, right where the EMA lines are. So 9 EMA and 20-day EMA are at this level. So it is an important level. And the high of the day was at the first Fibonacci level. As you can see here, 23.6%. Just zooming in a little bit for you. This was the high of the day yesterday and today. So it is still in place. The high is a resistance. It's a Fibonacci level, but as soon as we can push above the next Fibonacci level, this is 20 and 9 EMA, you can see here the blue line and the purple line. These will be the next resistance levels here. So let's see how far we can push, or if we can hold the levels overall, because yeah, it's still looking a little bit weak. The last days were pretty weak. As you can see, we moved down to 5%. This could be the first day with a green candle, almost small green candle. Sometimes it needs its time, 2 or 3 days, just sideways trading, just to establish a bottom, and then go in stage 3 to see the reversal and to see that we are really pushing higher again. But for now we are in stage 2 of a reversal, and this is just sideways trading phase, and we are still waiting for confirmation for the breakout, and therefore we need to go above this Fibonacci level here at the 20 and 9 EMA lines. 11,690 is the level. When we can manage to push above this level, then we would see confirmation, phase number 3 of 3 stages of a reversal. Yeah, let's go on a lower time frame, like 5 minutes, pushing higher again, pushing above moving averages. Let's see where's VWAP. We are already pushed above VWAP here, pushing above parabolic SAR dots, so it's looking better. And yeah, as always, the first direction when the market opens is often the false one. The same today. So we are pushing back, but we need to close above VWAP and moving averages to establish a new long trend, and we need to go higher than the day highs. Here you can see right before the open we had day highs here right below 11,600. High point was 11,598 points. So this is our resistance level here, Fibonacci level, and the important 11,600 psychological level. We can still trade the December future. It is expiry is in December 16th, so next week, but it's still a liquid future. But you can also go on the March future. March is the next expiry. I opened long positions in both. So I opened long positions yesterday, right around the 11,500 level. So it was looking weak at first, but then we managed to go higher. And I opened pre-market here when we went above moving averages. And yeah, it was just sideways trading, so I was still waiting. I entered early this position here, but I entered in December future small position and a larger one in March future. So I want to swing trade it and hold it for a longer time, maybe for 1 week. Smaller position in December future because next week is the expiry, and a larger position in March future for maybe several weeks, 2, 3 or 4 weeks for higher levels. So I'm aiming at the previous highs here with a smaller position for next week. So around 12,000 or 12,100 level. This will be my target for this December future. And for the March future, I'm aiming for higher levels. So the higher level would be 12,500 and the 13,000 level. These will be the important ones. Here's the 13,000 level. This will be the important ones for my March expiry, and there we have a lot of room to the upside. So this is from the level where we are at the moment to 13,000 is about 12% to the upside. Yeah, for my March swing trade, March expiry swing trade. I don't want to hold it until March. It's just March expiry of future. Yes, let's go to the lower time frame again, and maybe redraw it. I just moved the Fibonacci level here. So redraw, because I just moved the level. Oops. I will do it on an hourly chart. It's easier to do. Low of yesterday to the high point after the Jerome Powell speech. So here now you clearly see the high point was where the Fibonacci level is. It was the high point of yesterday and the high point of today. Oh, this is a strong candle here on an hour chart. You can see a huge wick on the downside. If it managed to close here in 4 minutes is the 1 hour candle closing, then it's looking pretty strong. So if we manage to close right below here, this was looking pretty strong. 3 minutes to close this 1 hour candle. Yeah, it's looking pretty bullish now. You can see here's my position. I entered the 11 M&Q, so micro Nasdaq futures, and I entered some on the large one on the NQ future. So yeah, I have a larger long position now here. It's looking better today than yesterday, but I still have some time, so I entered a swing trade, not a day trade, and therefore I have time. To your questions, Rare's opinion on NG and oil. Yeah, of course, let's talk about natural gas and oil. I have a position in natural gas, so let's look at natural gas. Oh, my chart. Here's my chart. You can see my position here. I entered 2 natural gas futures long on one account, and I'm up, as you can see, 4,000. I entered at $5.63. You can see yesterday, or I entered the first time earlier when we went above 460. You can see, where was it? Not 460, 560. It was last week, and then we went down again. So it was not the best trade. And yesterday, when we went above 560 again, I re-entered the trade, because the first time I was stopped out right at the lows. I was stopped out at $5.42 and the low was at $5.33. So 10 cents above the low I was stopped out. And yeah, I re-entered as soon as we went above the 560 level here again yesterday. And then we went strong higher to 590 today. And we tried to hit the $6 level maybe. And why did I enter this trade? Because here on a day chart, just getting rid of these lines. Because here on a day chart, I can show it to you. Zoom out a little bit. We had a huge gap from Friday to Monday. This was Monday, this was Friday here. You can see this huge gap. We closed here and we opened here. So it was a huge gap of 6% from Friday to Monday. And I think that we will close this level, this huge gap, or maybe a part of this gap, because you can see here's the 9 EMA level, here's the 20 EMA level. So we have some room to pull back to the resistance levels. And the 9 EMA level is around at the closing of Friday. Therefore, I think we will go to this level. So the low point of Friday was $6.22 and the closing was at $6.28. So I want to trade it up to $6.24 or $6.25. Around this level I want to close it out, because you can see here's the 9 EMA line, the first resistance level. So I would have rode it up about 60 cents to the upside, and this would be a nice trade, even if I was stopped out the first time because I entered too early. But yeah, it happens. That's part of trading. And yeah, I am bullish for some days, so for next 2 or 3 days. But as soon as we reach these levels here, 9 or 20 EMA, it's still a bearish trend, because when we go on a higher time frame, or when I just zoom out here on a day chart, this is a daily chart, you see the high point was at $10. Then we had a lower high at around $9.50. Then we had a lower high here at $7.50. Then we made about the same high again at $7.50. This was the first higher high, but now we had lower lows. You see, this was the last low. And now we had lower lows, even lower than these lows here. So this is a short trend again. And if we make now lower highs at this level here, it's still a short trend and it will go down further. And therefore, I don't want to trade it to the long side, or at least not directionally with a long future. Therefore, I want to be out of this position at around $6.24, $6.25. I will be out of this position, and I will have held it for 3 or 4 days maybe. Let's see if I can go out today or maybe tomorrow or next Monday. We will see. I don't want to hold it for more than a week. That's my thinking about natural gas here. I still have a short put in place, an option play, because the volatility is still interesting. It's not as high as it was before, but here's the chart, but it's still high. So we were at the implied volatility levels of 175%. We went down to lows of 90%. Now we are back at 95%, but it's still interesting. It's still a high implied volatility. You will get a lot of premium in options, and I am still in my $3.70 short put. So as long as price is going sideways and volatility is coming down, it's in my favor and I'm making money. And yeah, therefore I want to get out earlier with my long future trade, but stay in my short put trade as long as it's in my favor. This is for natural gas. Let's look on crude oil. Crude oil is here. General future. Same situation here. We are making lower lows and lower highs, as you can see. Just zooming out a little bit. So these were the last high points. Yeah, we had a double top here. Then we had the lower high This was a lower low, as you can see, low, lower low, lower low. So it's still a bearish trend. Yeah, it's clearly a bearish trend for several months now. But what is interesting is if you go on a week chart, maybe it takes some seconds to load here. But yeah, here we can see it. But if you go on a week chart and zoom out a little bit, you can clearly see that it's loading again. Always the problem with the connected charts here. You can clearly see that we are in a downtrend, yeah. But this was an important high point here last time in October 2021. So therefore, this should be an important support level here. We just went below this level a little bit, but yeah, it's just the support range. So I can draw two lines. This is the support range. We had high points here with the closings of the candle here. This is the support range. And you see, yesterday we went in this support range and we are trying to go higher now, 2.5% in the green today. I have no position in the future right now. I was thinking about going long, but I had already a trade in natural gas and in Nasdaq, therefore I didn't want to take on a third one in crude oil because I still have my 59 strike put. So this is my position I have right now, 59 strike put. Where is it? Here, around this level here. And yeah, as long as the crude oil is going sideways or rising, it's going in my favor. Every day is running in my favor, and therefore I already have a position in crude oil. I didn't want to take it to the long side with a future directional. So yeah, it's an important level, it's an important support level, and let's see how long it can hold. But the next time we will retest it, probably we will break below, because you see it's still a downtrend on a day and on a week chart. I know you had a price target of around 11,450 for a long, yeah, it was 11,370 I think, but we didn't manage to go this low. So I entered here at 11,500 because it was the last low. As you can see, we went several times to these 11,500, and that's why I entered the position here, even if we had lower lows yesterday. The low of yesterday was 11,423. So it was, yeah, like the last time. The last time we had 11,465. We were just 90 points above my projected entry level. And this time I thought, no, I won't wait for this level to come again, because I want to be in early enough not to miss it again. Because tomorrow is PPI, Producer Price Inflation Index, and I didn't want to miss it again. And yeah, that's why I'm in my position. And it's a swing trade, so I will hold over PPI news, even if the news are bad. But yeah, let's have a look at the news just to see. It's looking good now. It's bullish. Wow, see this? All green candles pushing higher above 11,600. Really strong now, the bulls. Interesting to see this reversal here. So yeah, now our next target will be the next Fibonacci level. Yeah, here 11,690 is our next target. This is the important level where we will push. Yeah, you see on the day chart, 9 EMA, 20 EMA level and the Fibonacci level. This will be our target for today to the upside. And yeah, I entered the position so early enough, maybe a little bit too early, but it doesn't matter for 50 points because it's a swing trade and I have enough points to the upside to run to and to make money with. Yeah, and natural gas also good in the green, so I can just sit and wait for my level to come, even if we don't reach it today. Let's have a look at the VIX and then for the economic news. So VIX is here, volatility index. You see volatility was rising the last days because we went lower. Today it's falling a little bit, it's a red candle. We had higher highs than yesterday, so it's still on the run. But yeah, as long as the prices are rising, yeah, it's looking good here. So sorry, my wife is calling. I just will answer this call and then I will be back. So, back again. My little girl was missing her for her hands because it's cold outside. It's only 1 degree Celsius today. It's really, really cold. So everything was found. Okay, back to the chart. VIX is on the rise to the upside, but because the bulls are strong today, it's pulling back a little bit. Let's see. We were at the lows of 19 here, but yeah, let's see if we can go to higher levels. If we will break below 11,500 in Nasdaq, probably we will see higher levels. But because I think that this was the low already, because yeah, you see the retest of this level, and it is a strong support. I'm still bullish for December, and therefore I think we will rise in Nasdaq and in the stock market, and therefore VIX should fall to the downside. The same with Euro USD. I'm still in a position here, but it's not looking so good for my position because I'm short, and yeah, when the stock markets are rising, the US dollar is weakening. That's what we see here. Euro USD, it's going to the upside. Even on a day chart you can see it's forming higher lows, maybe also higher highs. So it's just a hedge for my long trade in Nasdaq futures. It's a smaller trade. It's 130k, as you can see. It's just as a hedge for my Nasdaq long futures. So if the Nasdaq is tanking again and stock market going down, then Euro USD should also go down, and this should be a hedge for the stock market. Yeah, but my Nasdaq position is bigger than my Euro USD position, therefore I will make money when the stock market is going higher and VIX is going lower. What else do we have? Yeah, maybe you have heard about Carvana. They are about to file for bankruptcy. There was a new price target from bank. They went down from $9, I think, to $1 price target, and the stock tanked yesterday 35%. You see, implied volatility is now high, above 200% implied volatility. So there will happen something, probably. I'm not trading it. Yeah, it's a penny stock now. But you see from which high levels we were coming. Just from last year in August, it was at a high level of $376, completely crazy, and it's below $5 today. You see 98% of value went down. Crazy, just crazy, these stocks. And you see how it went up from COVID lows here in 2020. We went up 1,500%, and now we went down 98%. Yeah, that's a crazy chart, yeah, as you can see. And you can still see again, implied volatility is now higher than at the lows of COVID. Yeah, crazy chart. Yeah, this. Yeah, let's have a look at Tesla again, because Tesla was strong when the market was pretty weak, because on this day we only went down 1.5%. Yeah, we were strong at the end of the day, but yesterday was really weak again. Tesla lost about 6% yesterday, and today we pulled back almost to the lows. We are trying to manage. We are almost break even now, but you see it's still weak because Nasdaq is in the green. Nasdaq is up 1% and Tesla is only break even. So as we were talking the last weeks, Tesla is not a strong stock at the moment. It's a weak stock, and it's just a matter of time until it breaks below the last lows, and then there will be more selling pressure, and it will form lower lows again. And my price target is still intact. We talked about this. The price target is here at a $125 level. You can see it on a monthly chart. You can better see it here. Just to get rid of all these lines here. So the last support level was here. Yeah, we reached this support level here at around 177, and the next support level will be down here at 125. So here was the last low, as you can see here, in October 2020, and therefore I expect the stock to pull back to 125 as soon as we break below the 177 level on the week, and this could be this week, because we are at 173 at the moment, and there's a downside potential of 26% to get to the next support level here at $125. Yeah, Tesla was strong from the lows of COVID. You see here the lows of COVID were here, and it went up 3,000. No, what was it? No, it's 3,000. 1,500%. So almost the same like Carvana. It didn't lose 98% like Carvana, but it lost already 58%. So it is a weak stock now, and let's see how far it will pull back. But I wouldn't buy it too early here, so I'm not considering buying Tesla. I'm driving my Tesla Model 3, but I won't buy in Tesla stock long here. But no trade for now. I missed it last week. We were talking about it to trade it to the short side at the 200 level, but it just missed this level, and yeah, I wasn't able to enter the trade here because we were at $198.92, and I just wanted to wait for the 200 level, and we missed it, and therefore I missed my short trade. I wanted to trade a 250 short call expiring in January. Everything was called in live stream of last week. You can rewatch it. And yeah, I wouldn't take on a long trade right now. I would wait for a pullback. And yeah, but probably we will see at first the break below this last low, and then the pullback to this low, because then it will act as a resistance. And then you can take on new short trades, but I wouldn't take on any trade right now. Okay, RSI on 4 hour looks good for a swing on the up when talking about Nasdaq probably. So let's have a look at 4 hour chart. This is 4 hour, RSI is here. RSI you see is overbought, but I wouldn't just look on RSI, because you see here there was a lot of oversold. Yeah, you see here December 2nd it was oversold, but then we went even lower. We went even lower, although RSI was oversold, and therefore I'm not only looking at RSI. It's interesting if you want to leave a trade, if you want to close it, but not if you want to enter it. So I will not look at RSI for entering a trade. I would rather look at ADX, parabolic as RSI, and my Fibonacci levels. This is more important than RSI. Do you have a pre-market routine that you go through before you begin trading? Yeah, Lucas. Yeah, that's let's talk about the economic news. This is what we want. What I wanted to show you before I'm showing more charts. So my pre-market routine is just looking for the important levels. So on a high time frame, like a day chart or a week chart, and then drawing my Fibonacci levels, looking at the previous day, the day highs, the day lows. And you can see the previous day high and low are just at the Fibonacci levels, and now we are at 11,630. This is on a 4 hour time frame, the 20 EMA line, and yeah, not far away now from the day chart here, from our next resistance levels. So what do I do when I prepare before market open? I'm looking on high time frames for seeing my important levels, like the important lows, the important highs, drawing my Fibonacci lines, looking what did the Asian and European markets do, and yeah, just preparing for maybe some major economic news. Today is nothing important, I will show you here. So no important news from the US. Yes, initial jobless claims 1 hour before the market opened, but it was exactly in line like the expectation, 230K, and it's just a weekly number, so it's not really important because we have it every week. It's a 3-star event, I know, but yeah, I expect this number to be interesting in January when there will be more initial jobless claims, but for now it's not really interesting. You can see the last weeks was pretty boring because it was almost in line every week. Yeah, no big miss, and therefore it's not really interesting right now. As soon as we go above 250, 260K weekly number, then it will be interesting for the market, but for now it's not really interesting. But tomorrow will be interesting because we will have PPI here, producer price inflation, 1 hour before the market opens, and this is what you should prepare for. So you should know your levels if you don't want to have trade. If you're not in a swing trade like I am, then you shouldn't have a position when entering the news 1 hour before the market opens, and just wait for direction, let the market find its direction, and then you can enter a trade. And yeah, let's talk about the expectations here about the forecast, because the forecast is pretty low, 0.2% for this month, and you see last month it was 0.4%, so it was a high expectation, one of the highest from the last 4 months, and therefore it was easier to go lower, and the actual number was lower, it was 0.2%, and then we went up huge. I think it was 6 or 7% on this day. Let's have a look at November 15th. So I can remember it was a huge move. November 15th, what was it here? November 15th, you see we went up high. So this was I think this was CPI, and there we went up really good, and then PPI we went up higher, made a new high here, and yeah, went back again. So this was 2.9%, not bad. This day was more important, but yeah, there can still be movement because PPI is just before CPI. So when PPI is lower than expected, then this will probably cause a rally in the market, because everyone is fearing inflation and fearing higher interest rate hikes. And when the inflation numbers are lower than expected, then we don't need higher interest rates, or not so high as expected right now. And this number can also bring less fear to CPI, consumer price inflation, because PPI is just before CPI. At first we will have the goods which are produced, and then we'll have the consumers buying these goods or services, and then we have CPI after PPI. And if PPI is already lower than expected, then CPI will probably also be lower. But the forecast is low, as you can see. Yeah, it was as low the last time in October when we had the September numbers, and there we went higher. So I hope we are just in line, but it will be difficult to go lower than the forecast this time. Everything can happen, we have to prepare for everything, but yeah, we can also see just inline numbers or higher numbers. Everything can happen because the forecast is pretty low. Yeah, that's it for tomorrow. I will live stream tomorrow, or try to live stream. I hope everything will go fine, so I will be able to live stream 1 hour before the market opens, or maybe 15 minutes earlier, so we can prepare and talk about the important levels tomorrow, and then see the market reaction on the outcome of PPI tomorrow. Paola is asking, where's my stop loss for the trade in Nasdaq? Yes, let's talk about my stop loss. Where is the chart again? Yeah. My stop loss is right at the lows. You see here the day low of yesterday was 11,423. So I placed my stop right below this level, because it's a swing trade. I don't have to place it right here, 1 point below the low. I placed it at 11,390. So right below the next important round level. So I have room just to retest the lows of yesterday, but we didn't retest it at all. So 11,423 yesterday, 11,434 today, so almost the lows, but not lower lows, and therefore my stop loss was not targeted. And we are moving higher now. It's looking good for the bulls, good for my swing trade, but I still have time, because my targets are here at 12,000, 12,500 and 13,000. So I have a lot more time to go to the upside with my swing trade long here in Nasdaq Future. Which level do you see to re-enter the long Nasdaq? Yeah, also an interesting question. Where can you re-enter long? So for example, when we go back to moving averages, you could re-enter, or when we go back to VWAP, you could re-enter. So what is now the important support level is the previous high here at 11,590. This is the Fibonacci level and the previous high, so this should act as a support level, and you see here's the 9 EMA line, so it should act as a support right here. So we have still some room to pull back to form a new support. It would be good, yeah, not only green candles to go up, but we need these pullbacks for others to re-enter the long trade and to form higher lows. Yeah, we don't only need higher highs but also higher lows. So here was a low and now we have a new low. Maybe it's pulling lower. It's strong now. It's really strong, but it can go down to here and it would still be good because it's a stronger support level here at this area. And there you could possibly re-enter a long trade, for example, or maybe waiting for lower lows here at the VWAP. But it doesn't seem to go there today because it's looking strong. You can just draw Fibonacci lines to see where are the pullback levels. Yeah, you see here the first level. This is where we pull back to, moving higher again. And here the next level is this 11,590 on the higher time frame. We talked about this level. It was previous high before market open. Then we have right below the next Fibonacci level, 38% level, 11,580. This is where the 20 EMA line sits. And then we have 50% Fibonacci level. This is where the VWAP sits. So you see, even if you don't use Fibonacci levels, you have the moving averages and you have VWAP. So other traders will also see these levels. It's the same level for them. And you see here was a major support level. And then we break below at market open. So 50% Fibonacci is also an important support level. You can use whatever you want or just compare as more lines as you see on the same level, as more important it is. Yeah. For re-entering here a long trade, this was the question. Huge support level on 4 hour on Nasdaq. Yeah, let's look again on 4 hour time frame. So yeah, we hit the next level here. We were talking about this, so now we reached it. And it's still pulling higher, still looking good. We are at the 20 EMA level now here. Just getting rid of all these lines, then you can better see 20 EMA level here. And on a day chart, still some room for the 20 EMA level to get hit. But it's looking good for now. Do you think it's risk off with what bonds and silver are doing and people are positioning for a recession? Yeah, they try to. They are still in fear, as you have seen with VIX. And so VIX was moving higher really fast from 19 level to 23 in only 3.5 days. So this is 4 points. It's a huge movement for VIX. But the same happened here back in October. But we were on higher levels here. Now we were at really low levels. And the thing is that we pulled back 5 days, 5 consecutive days here. And therefore they were in fear. But what you can see is Euro-USD, US dollar was weakening. And therefore you see that the money is going back into risk assets. So US dollar was in a safe haven when we were at parity here to euro, and we were even below parity. So everyone was fearing here in October, November, and the money stayed in cash. It was in US dollar. But now you see during November, it went back into the market. It went back into riskier assets, and it's still strong. It's still pushing and going back into the market. So US dollar is weakening and other currencies are getting stronger. And this is what we should also see in the stock market, that the stock market prices are rising. So I don't think they are preparing right now for a recession. Maybe in the first weeks of the new year, they will see it again, that the recession will come. But it doesn't have to be in the first 2 weeks of January. Maybe it's mid of or end of January. It will take its time until people will see that recession is coming and will take into account, and then maybe we'll see lower lows again. But for December, I think it's still bullish. And yeah, as long as we have inflation data in line or lower than expected, then it will support this bullish trend right now. We are just trading sideways for 1.5 months now. We need a breakout to above the last highs. But yeah, as long as the lows are holding, it's good entry point here, because you have higher reward than you have risk, because I will be stopped out here, but now I have a possibility to make a win here for 5% to the upside, because here's the next resistance level. And this is an interesting trade to take, because yeah, it's not a really strong directional trade, because you don't have strong uptrend. You see there's almost no strength here in this trend. It's just trading sideways. But I took this long trade right at the lows of this sideways trend. And therefore it's interesting because it's pushing higher. And with PPI tomorrow, it can push higher really fast or really strong if the number is in line or lower than expected. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't expect the outcome to be anything. But I'm in this trade for several days or weeks for this NASDAQ December. As I talked again already, I will be in for some days until the end of next week maybe, or mid of next week. But with the March future, I will be in for several weeks, and therefore I have plenty of time. Is it good time to enter oil long right now? Yeah, we talked about this already, crude oil. So I was thinking about it yesterday to enter, but if you want to take on a swing trade, you could still enter right here, because it's still a nice or interesting risk to reward ratio, because you could place your stop loss right here below the, what was it, closing here, $71 is the closing level here. So if you place your stop loss right below the $71, maybe $70.50 or something like this, your stop loss, you would have $2.50 risk, and to the upside you have a lot of room. You can see the last high point was at $80, so you have $7 to the upside and $2.50 to the downside. So this is an interesting risk reward ratio if you want to take on a long trade. Even if we are in a downtrend, yeah, you have to acknowledge we are in a downtrend. We are possibly making lower lows, but we still can push higher to $78, $80 level in this downtrend, and therefore you could trade it to the long side for 3 or 4 days. It can happen. You see these candles are huge. This is a weekly candle. We can see huge movements within a week, and therefore just have your levels, just have your stop loss in place, and then just decide what you want to trade. Yeah. No financial advice here. You take on the trades on your own risk. I'm never saying do this or do that. It's just you take on the decision. It's your decision. You have the gains, but you also have the losses. I don't have a long future position right now in crude oil, but I have a short put trade here at 59 strike, and therefore it's in my favor as long as the crude oil prices are moving sideways, going higher, or just not going too low, because time is in my favor when I sold an option. Okay. What is your exit point of NASDAQ? Yeah, my exit point, we already talked about this, but my exit point is here at the previous high points, or round about. 12,000 is an important psychological level, and 12,144 was the last high point. So it will be between this level, 12,000 and 12,144 will be the exit for December future, because it will expire end of next week, though I have to go out of this trade, or I have to roll over to March future. I already bought in some March futures, and I will stick to these for higher levels. So on a week chart, my target would be 12,500, or the last high point here from CPI data, September 12th was the high point, 12,976, so right below the 13,000 level, and this will be my main target. Let's see if we can reach it within the first 2 weeks of January, maybe. And yeah, you can place the stop loss and just move your stop loss as long as it's going up. You can just take your stop loss to a higher level and be stopped out within the green. And this is what I will do. You see the major Fibonacci levels also here, right at the 13,000 level. And this is my target here, because I'm expecting December to be bullish. I'm just waiting for the breakout to the upside, and then we will probably see a huge movement, and this can happen within 2 or 3 weeks to hit the 13,000 level, or almost hit it. I will be out of this trade right below the 13,000 level, and this would be a potential of 1,400 points to the upside with only 150 points of risk. So this is a really interesting risk to reward ratio now for this trade, and this is why you sometimes just have to wait for your level to come. We were talking about this at the end of last week. Somebody was asking, but don't you get FOMO if you are not in your trade and now it's rising 3, 4, 5%? Yeah, it happens. Sometimes the prices are running and you are not in your trade. It was here, yeah. The prices were rising on this Wednesday, and on Thursday and Friday they asked me, yeah, but aren't you in FOMO because we are getting higher? No, never get in FOMO, because what happens now? We were giving it back. The whole movement was giving it back, and I was able to re-enter here at the same price level. Yeah, not at my favored 11,370, but it doesn't matter. I entered at 11,500, so only 130 points higher, and I'm in my swing trade now. And it was a good price level. So it wasn't the overall low, but it was a good price level. I can already say this because I have a good risk to reward ratio again. Yeah, for the first trade, closing here at the previous high, and for the second trade in March future, closing at the 13,000 level. So this is what I want to trade. And yeah, there's somebody just writing, Rishi was stopped out here on a downfall. But these strong movement just on a speech, there was no major change. Powell was just speaking about what the market was already expecting. We were speaking about this in the previous live streams, and I wasn't expecting the market to go higher right above the last highs. So this was a major resistance. We went some points above. We were trading this here together. I shorted here at the high points. You can remember, you can rewatch it in my previous live streams. This was a Thursday live stream, and I was shorting it. So this was 12,118. This was 12,144. So we were higher for 26 points only. And yeah, and then this was a strong resistance, and it pulled back. It pulled back heavier than I thought, but this is why I don't make any expectation. I just look for the levels to come, and then I enter my trades. Yeah, and we were talking in the last live stream about this 11,750 level. I entered a small position, but this is why I always saying I only enter with small position, because you see we went back from this level, yeah, but then we pulled back again, we retested, we went back again, but the third time we went below. And yeah, these levels cannot be tested 10, 15 times, because at some time it will break. It will be the same with this level, because you see how often it was already tested. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row, and today is the 7th day it was tested, but it won't happen again. So it will not be tested 9th or 10th time, and then we will break lower, and therefore you will have to have your stop loss in place right here. Yeah, that's it for now. So as I already told you, I will live stream tomorrow 1 hour before the market opens at 8:30 Eastern, or maybe 8:15, just to be early enough to talk about the important levels. And for now, I'm still bullish in my long trade in Nasdaq, long in natural gas. Let's see how it plays out. And yeah, just ask me your questions if you rewatch the live stream, or have your questions prepared for the live stream tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Have a nice trading day, and see you tomorrow. Goodbye.